Today, we're diving into a story that starts with something so simple, so normal, and ends somewhere you would never, ever expect.
I mean, just read that. That one sentence is the whole story in a nutshell. It just stops you cold, right? You have to ask how. How is that even possible?
So, let's set the scene. It all starts with our narrator, who's just gone through a divorce. She's looking for a fresh start, a quiet place to kind of regroup, and she finds this house on a street called Crescent Lane.
In the neighborhood, it seemed absolutely perfect. You can just picture it, can't you? Quiet streets, these huge, old oak trees lining the road. It just had that feeling of safety, of normalcy, the perfect place to heal.
So, the very first morning she's there, she's in her kitchen, maybe making a cup of coffee, and she looks out the window. And she sees her, the woman next door. She's out in her garden, and she looks up, smiles, and gives this really warm, friendly wave, a nice welcome to the neighborhood.
And this wasn't just a one-time thing. It became a routine, a comforting little daily ritual. Every morning, without fail, there she was, always in the garden, always wearing this same yellow cardigan. She just became this familiar, comforting presence. Okay, so for 2 weeks, this is the routine. A friendly wave every morning. Our narrator figures it's time to properly introduce herself. And this, well, this is where that feeling of comfortable normalcy starts to unravel. So she does the neighborly thing, right? She bakes some banana bread, takes it next door. She knocks, nothing. She knocks again, a little louder this time. And the door just creaks open, all by itself. She calls out, "Hello?" But there's just silence. It feels off. So she leaves the bread on the porch and heads home, feeling that first little chill. That little unsettling feeling is just sitting there in the back of her mind. So a few days later, when she sees the mail carrier, a guy named Darius, she decides to ask him a simple, casual question. A question that ends up changing absolutely everything. I mean, all she wants is a name for this friendly face she sees every single morning. She asks Darius about the woman at number 14, the one with the silver hair. But his reaction is not what she expected. He just stops dead in his tracks. His face goes kind of pale, and he drops this absolute bombshell. He says, "Ma'am, nobody lives at number 14. He tells her the woman who used to live there, a Mrs. Calloway, she passed away. And this is the part that is just impossible to process. It wasn't recent. It wasn't last month or last year. Mrs. Calloway died 3 years ago. 3! For 2 weeks straight, our narrator had been waving to a woman who had been dead for 3 whole years. And get this, the timing is just, it's too weird to be a coincidence. Mrs. Calloway died on October 14th. Our narrator moved in during that exact same week, just 3 years later. So, what do you do with that? How do you make sense of these two totally conflicting realities? On one hand, you have what our narrator has seen with her own 2 eyes, a living person who waves and smiles. On the other, you have the cold, hard facts, a death certificate and an empty house. They can't both be true, can they? You can just imagine her that night, right? Tossing and turning, trying to make it make sense. You'd be telling yourself, okay, it's the stress, it's the divorce, my mind is just tired, it's playing tricks on me. You'd cling to any logical explanation you could find. But then comes the next morning. In any hope of a logical explanation, it completely shatters. This is the last time she sees her, and it's the one that changes everything. She goes to the window, probably dreading what she'll see. And sure enough, there she is, in the garden, wearing the yellow cardigan. So it's real. It's actually happening. Only this time is different. The friendly routine is broken. There's no smile. There's no wave. The figure just stands there, completely still. Her purpose today is something else entirely. She raises her arm, but she's not pointing at our narrator, not at the window. She points straight down, directly at the floor of the narrator's own kitchen. A clear, silent, urgent message. And that one simple gesture makes all these other little details, things she hadn't really paid attention to before, just snap into focus. The basement door she'd mistaken for a closet, the heavy padlock on it, and a faint, strange smell she'd been ignoring. So that pointing, it leads to a phone call to the police. And they're the ones who finally uncover what was actually hidden inside that house this whole time.
Now, the story doesn't tell us exactly what they found down there, only that it was something dangerous, something left behind by the tenant who lived there after Mrs. Calloway died. And it confirms it. The warning was real.
And, well, can you blame her? She moves out. I mean, how could you stay? The place that was supposed to be her safe haven, her fresh start, was built on top of a secret she never would have found without that warning.
But once she's away from it all, she starts to see the whole experience differently. And this is really the heart of the story. She realizes Mrs. Calloway wasn't a scary ghost. She wasn't trying to haunt the house. She was trying to protect it and protect the person living in it.
And that's the question that this story really leaves you with. It totally reframes the entire thing, doesn't it? It goes from being a terrifying ghost story to, well, something else. A story about a guardian. So what do you think? Was she a ghost or a guardian angel in a yellow cardigan?